Alright, I'm here with a first look of how the Wi-Fi BacPac works with our Hero 2 cameras. Now, I've updated all the softwares on them. I've gone to the GoPro site, I've downloaded the Cineform Studios, I've installed the new hardware or firmware onto my two GoPro Hero 2s, both the Wi-Fi BacPacs and the remote. They've all been updated, and it's quite easy to do. You have to do it before you try and use your new Wi-Fi BacPacs. There's big notices that come when you buy your Wi-Fi BacPacs that say it's very important and you must do it before you even try to turn them on. So go ahead and do it. It doesn't take too long. It took me about 10-15 minutes to do everything. Very simple to do instructions. You follow them online under support, and they're very easy to follow along. Just make sure you read everything in there, because a little bit of it's tricky, but not if you read it. So have a look at that, and then come back, and I've come back, and now everything's plugged on. Well, this one's plugged in, but everything's updated and everything's turned off. So I'm going to go ahead and start by just using one of them, and then we'll try and put both of them on and see what happens. What I believe we do is we push the power button here once, and it'll turn on the Wi-Fi BacPac, and then we turn on the Wi-Fi remote using the power button. It'll boot up, and then it'll go, shows us what the remote's battery is doing, and then looks like they connect to each other. So that was very easy to do, and it also, once they connected, they turned on the Hero 2 camera. Alright, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so on the remote there's two buttons. They represent the two buttons on the camera. We've got the mode power button, so that represents this button, and the record mode, which represents the shutter button. If we go ahead and push the mode button, we'll notice it changes through the camera menus. Now, one thing that I have noticed here, I don't know if you can see it, but when I push the mode button, the camera immediately changes, and then the LCD screen on the remote is a little bit slow to update. Now, what this is telling me is that the button goes to the camera, and then the camera changes, and then the camera tells the remote what it's showing on the screen. So there's this button actually controls the camera, and then the screen on the camera is mirrored on the little remote here. So that's kind of cool. We can go through, right now when there's one camera connected, I've been able to go through all of them. You can go into settings, you can change the settings if you wanted to. I can go ahead and change it from 960, I'm not touching the Hero 2. I can change it to 1080p by 30 frames per second, and then I can go ahead and I can even, so basically right now I have full control over the camera on the remote, and it's doing absolutely everything that the remote does, the camera does. So right now I have, like I say, full control of the camera on here. All the settings I can change everything. We're going to go ahead now. I'm going to power off the remote, which you'll notice powers off the camera. That's kind of cool, too. I can push the power button on here, the remote turns off, and the camera's turned off, but as soon as I turn the remote back on, it turns the camera on. Now you'll notice that I haven't actually turned the Wi-Fi BacPac on. The Wi-Fi BacPac will stay turned on when you turn the remote off. So you have to manually turn off the Wi-Fi BacPac afterwards. But I can still, like I say, power down the remote and power down the camera. And then manually I will turn off the Wi-Fi BacPac. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and connect the Wi-Fi BacPac to the second camera. Again, it attaches just like all the other backpacks. It clips on to the side first, and then it slides into the expansion port like that. So now I've got two of them, and I have pre-set up how to connect more than one. If you look in the manuals that comes with the Wi-Fi BacPac, it'll give you instructions on how to set them all up so they're all on the same frequency so they talk to each other, but it's not hard to do. Again, one button to turn that one on. You can see the symbol comes up. One button to turn this one on, and it comes up. And then I turn the remote on, it'll boot up, and then both cameras turn on. Now, the very interesting thing that I've noticed on the remote now is it changed. It now says 2 cams ready default modes, and I'm going to push the power button, and it's going to put them into default modes. And What's changed now on the remote is I do no longer have a mirror image of the screens. I actually just have something that says 2 cams, ready, and then a video symbol. And that's it. I don't have any ability to see the picture counts. Like, I have no picture count, I have no battery life counter, I have no resolution on here. I only have the fact that it says it has video and it's ready. And the only thing now I can change is in the mode, I can simply change the recording modes. I have no ability to change settings in here. So that's something that changes. As soon as you plug in more than one camera, you're going to have to set the settings up on board the camera so that they're the same, or whatever settings you want within the camera settings, and then you can simply use a remote to push the record button. You can see they both start recording, the lights are blinking, they are in sync, I believe. And then you can push the record button to stop it. So there again, right? You push the record button, both cameras start recording, hit the record button again, and both cameras stop recording. And you can simply, in here, you can change between modes. So you can go to photos, or 10 shots, or time lapse, and then that's about it. So that's all I've got to say about the Wi-Fi backpacks. That's my first look at them. There we go. I've looked at how to use one of them and how I got this ability to change all the settings on it through here. I've looked at how to connect 2 of them, and from that point, as you can connect up to 50. So the same way we did 2, you can do 50, but I don't think many of us actually have 50 GoPros or the need for 50 GoPros. Again, like, power them off and they will both power off. So that was a little video on my first look and how to use the Wi-Fi backpacks. They look very, very cool. They're going to be a huge help, especially if you're trying to mount the cameras in places that is not easy to get to. One of the places I mount mine is up the mast of my sailboat, which I actually can't get to until I de-rig it. So it's going to be great to be able to just record for little bits of time and then turn the camera off and then turn the camera back on. As for the batteries on board the Wi-Fi backpack, it does have its own battery, and you charge it via USB cable. However, if the battery on the Wi-Fi backpack dies, it will begin to draw power from the Hero's camera's batteries itself. So that'll draw from the onboard battery that your Hero 2 has installed, or your Hero 1 has installed in it, which means that your battery life of your video camera will be depleted quite a bit faster than if it was using its onboard battery. So keep that in mind. Make sure you charge it up. There is a very good little battery display icon there. It tells you how much is left, but keep it in mind that if it does die, it will simply draw off the GoPro's battery. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, because there's lots more videos and how-to tips coming out. And if you've enjoyed it or you've got any questions or comments, leave them below, and I will be happy to help out as best I can. Till next time, guys, thanks for watching.